Hi.
Right.
Good morning. This is Karen O'Neill. I am your hostess this morning. I want to thank everybody for being here on Facebook and right here on the Zoom call. It's great to see your familiar faces. I know I haven't been here too much, but hopefully I will be consistent in the future. Anyway, it is, I believe, Monday, August 9th. And I have a little quote for you I'm going to read. And I kind of really like this one because sometimes we get a little antsy about things. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. So we're going to start out with that one because we're all planting seeds when we talk about our patches. And this is the day that I love the most on all our calls. Well, one of them, there's so many good ones. And I love it because we come on, we share our stories, we tell each other what's going on, and we give each other wonderful input and ideas for things that we can do and ways that we can use our wonderful patches. Please remember that you don't want to ever use any disease names because we don't claim to treat, cure, or heal any disease state. We just let you use this wonderful photobiomodulation light therapy and see what happens to your body and how much it's getting better and improving, because the body has this overwhelming sense of wanting to be full and well, and those patches help us do it just because they put our body to rights. So who wants to open up the morning with the first story? Bless this community. Now I'm still not seeing hands, so if you want to just jump in, I cannot see any hands raised.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll jump in. Who jumped in?
Thank you.
Go.
Go ahead. We can hear you. I can't see you very well, but we can hear you. I think. Who is it?
Okay. Hello?
Yes, we're listening.
Okay, this is Tammy. Sorry.
Hi, Tammy. Yay.
Good morning. So, my latest, obviously, I'm not trying to remove the doctor element from things, but I slipped on a wet dock on Wednesday night and came down on my knee, and my lower leg splayed out to the side in a very scary way, and there were lots of popping noises. Not a good thing.
Oh, hang on one second, Tammy. If you are not Tammy, please mute yourself. Go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, so I slipped on a dock. At any rate, it was a scary thing. So I uniced it with Real Ice, of course, immediately put on Ice Wave, Eon, glutathione, and X39 all around the knee. So just as a report, I am going to have it checked because I think there's a good chance from what I've read that I could have maybe torn something. I'm hoping I just stretched it. But I will say that recovery has been amazing. The swelling went down immediately. The pain, of course, went away immediately. And I'm just being very, very careful with my knee. But I think it could have been much, much worse had I not had the patches.
Oh, that's awesome. And I agree with you. It certainly could have been. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Tammy. And I am seeing hands raised now. Bye-bye. Thank you. Remember to mute yourself when you come on. And then I have Valerie with her hand up.
Hi. So
Valerie.
My husband and I have been using the patches for maybe 5 or 6 weeks. And so we've had two major things. Well, like our energy and stamina levels are out the roof. It's been awesome. But a couple of things that we were hoping for, but one we didn't really expect was he has very thinning hair on the top of his head. And after about 2 weeks, I was cutting his hair and I just told him, I said, your hair feels different. And he said, is it growing back? And I said, well, I don't know. I don't see that, but it feels different. And then fast forward to just before we went on vacation. So it's been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks. I was cutting his hair and I went to the top of to do the top of his head. And I was like, oh my gosh, you've got all kinds of new hair growth up here. And it was so exciting. So now we're like watching every day. We're like, oh, like watching plants grow. It's really funny.
I
That
love-
was super exciting. And then the other thing is that he has been working with an MD to get his blood pressure into a healthy range. And that wasn't happening. And so he's been using the X39 Carnosine and Eon patches. And the last 3 times he's taken his blood pressure, he has been well within the healthy ranges. So we're
Oh.
really celebrating that because we know that his medication levels don't need to be upped again. So that's exciting.
That is really exciting.
Okay, Karen, I muted everybody, so please mute yourself.
I did, thank you. I realized it. Anyway, that is exciting. That's a big deal. So thanks, Valerie, for sharing that. It's wonderful. All right, so now on to Kay. I see when there are hands up, I do see them.
Well, good morning, everyone. I wanted to
morning.
ask a question, if I may.
Sure.
I have a client who's asked me about using the patches for dropping levels of bone. The bones are not building anymore, as happens as we age. And in addition to weight-bearing exercise and supplements, I wondered if anybody had had any experience with particular patches with this issue.
Boy, I don't, so I'm gonna throw that out there if anybody has any info. And just unmute yourself and come on. Maybe nobody has heard. I have never heard that. I definitely always use X39 no matter what. And other than that, I don't know.
Someone was on one of the many calls and showed that she had gotten her report from a bone scan and it showed that there was no bone loss. I don't remember what call, I don't remember how, but I think she was using X39.
Awesome. Well, that's good info. Cool. So, when in doubt, put that X39 on. So,
do you-
okay, I know that wasn't very, much, but I don't think we have a whole lot of info on that.
Well, I'll report back to you after we've tried that. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be great. We'll be waiting to hear. Awesome. So.
Hey, Karen, I can throw in something there.
Thank you, Dr. Tom.
You can think of the regenerative capacity. Bone, every tissue in the body regenerates. It's just a matter of how quickly and how completely. And once we put X39 on board, and especially with the supporting detox with glutathione and carnosine especially, if you're actively building with bone, it's actually a vascular tree issue. How many minerals in the body are actually reaching the target tissues? And you can think of the capillary beds, and when we're putting Ice Wave and Energy Enhancer, what you're doing is invigorating the capillary bed. So all of a sudden you've got peripheral tissue penetration, right? You've got target tissue delivery of a lot of the nutrients that actually we're swallowing. So if you're taking a supplement, for example, a CalMag Zinc or a bone building supplement, the real question is it actually making it to the tissues? Yeah. So X39 is fantastic, the whole protocol, but you might even, you might try, if you're interested in some active bone building, focus on the kidneys. You could put Energy Enhancer on the kidneys one day on the back. Yeah. With Ice Wave at the base of the spine. You can reverse it. We've been playing a little bit with that. So just wanted to say that. And the lady who was talking about the medications, again, we're not allowed to say that we can manage medications, but these protocols make everything better. They make everything more bioavailable. So without trying, all of a sudden you put yourself in the patches, and effectively every medication that somebody's using is working better because of that previous dynamic I just mentioned. Yeah. So it's good to tell the docs, hey, you know what, here's what I'm going to do for the next 90 days to maybe 6 months or so. Follow me real closely, take my levels today. Will you follow me? And you'd be surprised how many docs pop their eyes open and they say, holy moly, what are you doing?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Thank you, Dr. Tom. I like
Sure.
that. And that was great information. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, Darlene.
I can kind of answer back about the bone density. The last bone density test I had, my levels stayed the same. The two previous ones, it was going down slightly, and I had not been, I think I'd just started wearing the X39 when I'd had the one where it still went down a little bit, but having worn the X39 for, I think you wait every 2 years to have one, all my levels were still the same. And my regular doctor said if I did some weight bearing exercises, it would be better the next time. It wouldn't stay the same. It would probably improve.
Awesome. Thank you.
And-
That is good info too. Thanks.
And I also wanted to say a big thank you to Robin and Gregory for coming to Colorado. All of the meetings were absolutely wonderful. And I enjoyed meeting so many people in person that I see their faces on these calls, but I actually got to meet them in person. So thank you to everyone who I got to meet.
Thanks. And thanks for saying that, because it was amazing to have Robin and Gregory come also and just see our friends and get together. It was just beautiful. So make sure you come the next time if you're in this area, because you will love it. Awesome. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate that. And it looks like Peter has his hand up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I wanted to also thank Robin and Gregory and Emily for showing up and doing such an amazing job. And love you so much. You guys make such a big difference in so many people's lives. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with carnosine in conjunction with the X39, which I wear daily, but I've started wearing the carnosine patch semi-daily. And I had some eye issues with my vision in my right eye, and also some concerns around my heart. And I guess it's been a little over a month that I've been consistently using the carnosine patch, and have maybe twice a week done some weightlifting on my Total Gym. Used to be a bodybuilder, not anymore. But I have to tell you that I have noticed not only has my vision improved dramatically, but my shirts are tight. Even though I'm only lifting once or twice a week, my shirts are really getting pretty tight around my shoulders and my chest. And that's a nice challenge to have. And I am guessing that the carnosine patch in conjunction with the X39 has something to do with that.
I think you're right. And, you know, having your clothes get tight for most of us is a nightmare.
I can relate to that also.
But it's a little different if it's muscle, a lot
Yes.
different. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. That is
Yeah.
really great. Wonderful. Thanks. You guys are just blessing us over and over. Thank you. It looks like Helen and Tim. I don't know which one's coming on, but come on in.
Well, of course, I want to say thank you to Robin and Gregory and everybody who helped pull all this together, and all the attendees as well. And just like every Monday, we come here and, you know, we hear these amazing stories. Well, definitely put your jaw on your knee stories. And the good news is, even though you weren't in our Colorado area, some of you may have been on our Facebook page, Live Younger, and they're all there. It's so worth the time. You know, I went to all of them, all 5, and different stories, different amazing, brings tears to your eyes. I'm still like in awe. My heart is wide open. And Wendy, you want to share something? Or
Thank
Tim?
you.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed the last day, but I lasted longer than the last tour, so.
Yeah.
Yay.
What do you want to say?
Improvement.
Yeah, it was just great to have everybody around to see people, like you said, and actually get a hug and that kind of thing.
And Dr. Walt and Dr. Barber were awesome. That was great having
Yeah.
the doctor panels at the events. That was pretty cool.
Amen.
Yeah.
So I recommend go watch them all. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. That is really good info. And she's absolutely right. Go watch them and you will be thrilled, I'm sure. And you'll hear some good stories.
Facebook right now.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, let's see who else has got their hand up. What time is it? Well, we're good. We have time, you guys, at least, looks like 5 minutes. So we've got time for more stories.
How do I do that?
Hello.
Hi, I think just saw somebody pop in there. Let's see, it looks like Shannon. Was that Shannon? Or Marianne? I've got some hands up now.
Good morning.
Well, I'm actually on the phone. I'm not on the live Zoom call picture photo. I'm just on
Okay,
my
go
phone.
ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay,
who is this?
So my name is Christy Jensen,
Okay.
and I live in Colorado. And I started using the X39 about 3 months ago. And so I have a lot of stories, but and then also my husband started using them also like about a couple months ago, and we have stories together. One of them is that we're like, I'm over 60 and he's not quite 60 yet, but we were able to do this amazing. We built this huge fence with 16-foot lodgepole pines up at 9,000 feet, and we were carrying these poles all over. And I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to. When you go to bed and you're like, okay, I'm not going to be able to get out of bed tomorrow morning because I just know myself for 20 years at least doing, if I do things like this, forget it. Well, the next day and every day so on, no pain, and same with him, you know. So that was an amazing thing that actually happened. And I have just kind of starting to get people on the product, and I'm going to be having a lot more questions. I think I've got like about 9 people that are on the product. So, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm just really excited about it. I just wanted to pipe in with my story. So, you know, and then now I understand, never being an athlete, when athletes always say recovery, fast recovery, I got it on a different level from this experience. Like, that's what athletes mean when they say how they recovered. Well, this was actually fast recovery. I mean, totally amazing. So, yeah, anyway, there you go.
Awesome. Thank you. That was great. And it's fun how the stories add up real quick, don't they? It's great. So we have lots of hands still up, and we get to go to the bottom of the hour if we have enough people who are willing to bless us. So let's go. Shannon, I saw you pop in a minute ago and you have your hand up. So come on in.
Well, great. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. It's good to see everybody this morning. And I wanted to thank Robin and Gregory and the Peaks and Michelle and all the leaders that went from meeting to meeting in Colorado. It was the first time I had an opportunity to see everyone and in person for, you know, so that was fantastic. And so I was able to invite a number of people, and oh my gosh, my phone was ringing off the hook and just answering questions from the guests that showed up. And even at the meeting, I just felt a lot of support from the whole team surrounding people that I invited. And it's such a great feeling to know that I'm not in competition with anybody, that we're all here working together, supporting each other, whether it's a question or experience with the patch, a testimonial. It's just fantastic to see how LifeWave is really making a huge impact on every little corner of the state as well as the world. So thanks everyone for making this weekend a fantastic experience for me and all the people that were able to join us and to join me that I invited. So thanks again.
That's awesome, Shannon. And I think it was one of your invitees. I got so tickled at the meeting yesterday. There was an older gentleman who had a walker, and Dr. Walt had patched him. And I was over there talking to him. He says, where can I get these? I need these right now. I need them right now. It's already helping. It's already helping. I don't even know if I need my walker anymore. Where can I get them? And I think Teresa had a sleeve that she was able to sell them right that second. And it was just heartwarming to see how excited he was. And, you know, when I did want a business, I know this is not a business meeting, but I just want to share, because Shannon, this brought it home. I wanted a business that had products that were so wonderful, it was way more valuable than the money you pay. And that's what we have.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And that guy is so excited. I'm not going to go into his health story, but again, his son-in-law and his daughter were there as well, and they are going ecstatic. Their whole family is going nuts over these patches. So it's absolutely incredible. So I had one lady, she asked me if these patches were $30 a piece. And I said, well, the good news is they're not that expensive. And she was so thrilled. And so that's someone I'm going to be enrolling today, a little bit later.
It's just, thank you. It's bringing tears to my eyes just thinking about it, because the value of these patches, the money is just, even though, yeah, we don't ever like the money going out of our pocketbooks, but when we have something that we see the value in so much more, it's just, you know, it's just so exciting and wonderful. So thank
Absolutely.
you. And thanks
Thank
for
you.
sharing
You're welcome.
with us today. Awesome. Thank you. And let's go on right on and just keep on. Let's see if I can keep from crying. Anne Marie.
Hi, good morning.
Good
And
morning.
great to hear such good things about all the Colorado events. I can't wait to watch all of them on Facebook, but I just want to give a quick report on SP6. I've listened to Dr. Tom several times talk about the white paper on SP6 and the organ regeneration. And so I decided I'd go with the protocol that's in the white paper. I think it was 7 days in succession of wearing SP6 on stomach 36. 12 hours, daytime for me, I did. And I mean, I felt great before I started that. And I don't know, I just came out of the 7 days just feeling even more wonderful. I can't put my finger on any one particular thing. I guess just more energy and just feeling very in sync, you know, and just very balanced. And I don't know, just feeling wonderful, like many years younger. So thank you, Dr. Tom, for highlighting that SP6 white paper. It works.
And thank you, Anne Marie, for sharing it. I've been out of things for the last few months and I hadn't heard that. So that was really good news. Thanks, Dr. Tom, also. Thank you. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Anne. Anne Moreau.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So some of you have been on, by the way, enjoying all your stories from Colorado. I'm from Maine. So I wasn't there, but I did watch one of the Zooms at least, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. I put a Facebook picture of my mom when she had some issues some months back, and she had gotten, you know, amazing results with the HAT protocol. And this is kind of a story of all of us deal with people who don't believe, right? And my mom got a lot better, but then said, these patches aren't doing anything for me. I don't want to use them anymore. Don't put them on me. So that was like a week ago. And guess what? Over the weekend, she had another problem with her eyesight. And she was complaining of, she says it was dizziness, but it was more that in her eyes, she saw this spinning going on. And so I text Dr. Acklin, and because I knew she would take the information from Dr. Acklin, but not her daughter nurse. So Dr. Acklin text messaged me, told me what to do, put that protocol on her in addition to the HAT, which included the SP6 and Eon. And she got up this morning and she said, oh my God, I'm so much better. So, so my story is, you know, the doubters, sometimes they have to be off of them to really begin to see that it can really change their life.
That's awesome and so true. You know, sometimes things are subtle and gradual. And then when you, yeah, that's great. Thank you. And I'm seeing a lot of stuff about check Robin's chat. She's telling you where to find the white page. Okay, on the SP6, but that's wonderful. Thank you. And let's see. We have, who else? I don't have any more hands yet. So
Marianne.
Marianne's had her hand up.
had her hand up.
Oh, Marianne. Okay, go Marianne.
Hi, I'm very new and I have a question. I hope that's okay to ask it here. I do a lot of pet sitting and there is a dog that I'm going to be caring for in a few days who has had surgery on his leg and they put a plate with screws in it. And it's been a few weeks, but they tell me, the pet dad tells me he's not in pain, but they are doing some medications to keep him calm that sometimes work and sometimes do not. And so I'm wondering, I realize the X39 is very comprehensive and everything. And also wondering if there's something in addition for calming.
I'd put Eon on him.
Eon?
Because that's for stress and it can calm. Yeah.
Okay.
That's, anybody else have anything else they want to add? But I would definitely do Eon. If he was in pain, of course, I would say Ice Waves. I have a plate in my shoulder, and when I got that surgery, I never lost a night of sleep from pain because of the patches. It's awesome. So,
okay,
if he does go into pain, you can add that too.
Okay, thank you
I would
very
definitely
much.
put Eon on him. When my dogs are stressed, I always stick an Eon, or my dog. I only have one.
Yeah, and I was told by someone that we could put it on the tag, and then someone else said no, they would never do that. They would put it near the site of the surgery. So I have conflicting answers.
Just put it on the tag. I don't know how you're going to put it by the surgery.
Okay.
Unless you can put a stretchy band around it or something, and that could hurt them. I don't know. Anybody have any ideas about that? Because usually, Darlene, do you have something?
Our dog hasn't had surgery, but she gets so
I thought I
upset
saw hands up, but real
when
hands.
the weather is storming and fireworks are going on. And when we had a storm the other day, she was shaking like a leaf, drooling crazy, like she's hyperventilating. I put a brand new Eon on her collar, and in less than 5 minutes, she was calm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I know it really does calm. And we put X39 on her collar all the time. So I don't think you have to put them on the site where the surgery was. Just attach them to the collar or put like a bandana around their neck and attach the patches to the bandana.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
That's great,
You're
Darlene.
welcome.
Thank you for sharing that, because you have actual experience with that you noticed. Cool. Awesome. Kim, no wait, yeah, Kira, come on in.
Yeah, thank you. I have some a pet suggestion. I had been taking care of my daughter's dogs, and one of them had vision problems. And I took one of my used X39s and put it on the collar. And within 3 days, suddenly this dog is sitting in front of me, looking at me with clear eyes. So putting it on the collar really seemed to work for that. I also understand that if your dog or animal is used to being in a pet bed, that you could put the patch somewhere on the bed where the dog usually stays. Otherwise, the collar works real well.
That's really good info. And I've done that before too, because my dog, I crate her at night. And so I just stick it in the crate sometimes if I think she needs something overnight. So that's great. Thank you. And yeah, mostly things work no matter where you put them. If you really need to put them on the localized site, I don't know how you do it with an animal unless you put something stretchy around and put it on the stretchy thing, but that, it would work. And it works like clear up to 6 inches away from the body. So when you put it in the bed, it's okay. Even because it goes, I always hear 3 to 6 inches, but it's actually 0 to 6 inches because it would go up to 6 inches. It might only go up to 3 depending on what barriers might be in there. So I think that's what they're saying, up to 3 or 6 inches. So awesome. Thank you. Thanks for adding that in. Where are we on time? We're good. We have like a minute. Let's see. I don't see any more hands up.
I have a question if we don't have
Okay.
You know, I have a couple of distributors who wear the magnets that came from that company that started with an N. I won't mention it online, but you know, the big magnet company. And we were just wondering if the patches don't work as well with the magnet. I mean, they seem to be getting results, but I just wondered if the magnets interfere with the patches.
I don't see how they would interfere. I've used those too. I don't see an interference of any kind. I think sometimes for me, the patches do so much more, way more, you know, and there's some similarities on a kind of a small scale, but anybody else have anything? Robin?
Yeah, I asked Dr. Nicholas that question once,
Oh,
and his
good.
answer is that, you know, magnets are, you know, are fine with the patches.
Okay, that's what I would think too. So good question though, great question. And I want to add something real quick. I know we're done and then we're going to turn it over to Robin and Gregory. But if you get any of those flashing lights in your eyes where they bother you, I used to get them once in a while. And they'd last for hours and hours. And I was thinking about it yesterday because we were talking about that. Use the head protocol, put it on there. It's usually gone in 5 to 15 minutes. So, and I want to congratulate everybody. I didn't hear any disease states. I heard a lot of good compliance. Thank you so much for that. We have something precious and we need to protect it here. So thank you. And Robin and Gregory, take it away.
Okay, we are on the road on I-25 in Wyoming. I don't know how well you hear us. Our internet's a bit stable. And I do encourage everyone to look at the chat during our call because a lot goes on in there. And Dr. Tom also said Nirvana is a beauty comb too. So we have so many different resources and that work, and we appreciate everyone's input. We had an amazing time being with everyone in Colorado, and we're so honored to have Emily join us. Everyone fell in love with Emily, like really fell in love with Emily. It was wonderful. And it was great to see everyone. We had incredible testimonials. Oh my gosh. We're changing lives, and you know, your voice out there sharing is changing lives. And you know what Shannon was saying about Susan and Jim, it was incredible because Jim was sitting there with a walker all wrapped up and her father, and I said, well, let's have Dr. Walt patch him. And he got up from a seated position, an older gentleman who wasn't able to do that, and started walking without his walker, and she was over the moon excited. I mean, we had one right on the spot, and we did, you know, we you know, used the ice wave to demonstrate the technology and had amazing results in the room with that too. So lots of guests, lots of lives changed and lots of new people. So, and people came from all over. You know, they were invited from Anne Moreau's guest was there, and I got to meet Renee, and that was wonderful. And Cindy, who's I don't know if Cindy's on today, but she had one of her new people there that I got to meet that came in, and it was so fun. We had a great time. We got totally spoiled by Helen and Tim, stayed in their home 3 nights. We're in the hotel the other few nights. Emily just loved being there, and she loved all of you, so it was great. And now we move forward. Tonight, we're going to talk, we do have a new director. I'm trying to line up and see if he's available to be on the call. And we're going to talk about meetings, aren't we, honey? So we have some new resources for you and some ideas, and we're going to build into the 30 minutes of wisdom that is on Friday with Connie Ward, who's going to teach us all how to do virtual and live meetups. And she had someone there who was a guest of hers that she had reached out to, someone she didn't know. She marketed to people in Colorado, and that woman signed up as a gold. So we're going to learn all kinds of great things this week. And I want to thank everyone. Darlene and Teresa were our superstar registrars. They had some additional help here and there, but they held it magnificently, and people felt welcome, supported, respected. And Helen and Tim had air filters in the room so people felt safe and comfortable. And we've got an amazing community, guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but
we can.
Okay, yeah, The internet's been very unstable. Wyoming is not your best coverage. But we'll be home in time for the call tonight, and are very grateful to everyone. So thank you, and yeah, we'll figure out about posting those in YouTube so you can hear it, because there were amazing testimonials, and the doctors' panels were incredible. We had Dr. Barbara and Dr. Walt, and they were just superstars, and it made such a difference. And we'll have maybe Sunder talk about tonight, and one of his guests said that added so much credibility, and they were just fabulous. And Dr. Walt took off the gloves yesterday. Oh my goodness. It was very fun. So thank you, Karen, for hosting. Wonderful to see so many of you, and congratulations. Shannon had the most guests yesterday. He had 8 guests. How many new people did you get, Shannon?
Yesterday, I think, gosh, my niece showed up late too, so I think I had a total of 9 people there, and guests, oh gosh, I'd say 7 of them are relatively new. This was their first experience with LifeWave. So, and I've got, you should see my calendar. It's already full of, you know, getting back to the people and getting them enrolled and taking that next step. And that was super important. You know, Gregory mentioned, you know, always, and you, Robin, always mentioned, make sure you have another appointment set up before you leave your last appointment. And so that's, you know, those are little tips that come about from calls like this, and Tuesday calls and Saturday morning calls. And I'm so grateful for what you guys have poured into all of our lives, mine included. And it's going to help me to grow this business exponentially faster than I was anticipating, which is really exciting. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. And remember, keep planting those seeds. Oh,
yeah. So the person who had the most guests won a free sleeve of X39, and Shannon was the superstar. So thank you all, and we will reconvene this evening at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we will conclude our recording.
awesome. Thank you. Thanks